Hey, what is up guys? It's your boy Speed here, and today we're going to be looking at Mickey's Phantom Lancer. This is a game where Mickey actually doesn't completely pop off, however, nonetheless, he carries the game. Phantom Lancer seems to be the best carry of the patch, and I'm not gonna lie guys, I'm pretty surprised to be saying this. The reason why I'm surprised to be saying this is Phantom Lancer didn't receive super major buffs. The hero received some attack range, a new shard, and a new axe, but I don't really think people buy the shard, and I don't think people really buy the axe. And so the only notable change is everything on the map, which seems to be the main reason, and attack range, which actually was a big buff to the hero. I also want to say that I was tempted to make kind of a video on Nisha's gameplay this game and Boxy's gameplay. After I finish this video, I am going to go make an analysis on Boxy's Skywrath over on the website. It's 50% off right now, using code DOTA733. So that's the promo code. Go check it out, guys. Go sub to the website. It's literally so cheap, way less than a Netflix subscription. And I'm going to be posting high quality content, getting you ahead on the patch. So if you're interested in that, go check that out. All right, so I want to quickly start with the draft. So to no one's surprise, Doom and Enchantress, they didn't get nerfed. They were really broken last patch. In fact, Ench got buffed. And so, yeah. This hero's really broken. Chen, extremely broken. Definitely hero I'm going to make a full through video on because this hero is just crazy. Probably a website video. Then we have a Monkey King response. I think this is mostly just a response to Doom and Enchantress. Just a hero that provides Wukongs to kill Enchantress and Wukongs to kill Doom. Just in general mans up pretty well against Doom as it can play the trees and join the fight late. So it's a hero that doesn't get countered that hard by Doom and can play around it. Now for the next few picks, we had a Wind Ranger into a Phantom Lancer Nyx Assassin. I think the Phantom Lancer Nyx Assassin is a decent response to these three heroes, mostly because of the fact that Enchantress, Doom, and Wind Ranger don't do any significant AoE damage once PL hits his timing. And I think this is the main thing to keep in mind for the patch if you're going to draft PL, which is, do they have damage for your significant timing? Not do they have damage at all, do they have damage for your timing? Because really what I've been seeing, and the reason why PL, from my perspective, has such a high win rate, is he's just able to hit his timing because of the openness of the map. It's easier than ever for PL to get around the map. To be fair, people can get around the map to gank PL easier, but the camps are so defensive. These outside camps, with a lot of carry heroes, it feels kind of too defensive almost. You want to join the fights. With PL, it's like, who cares? You kind of just take every defensive camp in the map and you feel pretty good about just playing for your timing. And Wind Ranger, Enchantress, and Doom don't do anything to PL once he's hit his timing. At least Wind Ranger as a support does absolutely nothing. Maybe as a core it's okay, but that's generally something people don't do. I don't think it's very good either. And so yeah, it makes a lot of sense. With the puck pick, I think Gaming Gladiators is doubling down on their timing. Basically, one way to beat PL is to actually try to counterpick him here and pick heroes that truly do enough AoE damage to deal with the illusions. And then you can also just play for a in-between timing where PL is just not online. And I actually think Gaming Gladiator's approach to PL is correct here. If the first three heroes of your draft don't address PL, I think picking one hero to try to address it just tends to not be enough. However, you can run it over. Coil is very good against PL. He cannot topple through it. It's decent magical damage in the early game. It's a very hard hero for PL to kill, so it's not like PL, can burn the mana of puck. You're not getting on top of the puck. However, the puck is pretty bad against Nick, so it was a risky pick into that. It's not the worst matchup. It's not as bad as people think, I believe, but it is not great. And then they go for the Skywrath last pick, and now it's definitely not a great puck game. So, because I also think puck is somewhat bad against Chen, because I think Chen heals are very good against the chip damage of puck. Either way, as I was saying, I think one way to counter the PL is just to buy auras and then group up. And that's exactly what they can do. They have Ench to take towers, they have Doom to buy auras, they have catch for him now with the puck, and so they can play for an earlier timing rather than trying to dumpster this guy. But that's a risky game you're playing when you're playing against PL. You're on a timer. So the laning stage is about the same as Phantom Lancer. I really don't want to spend any time on it because of the fact that it's about the same. So much so it's about the same where he actually gets not solo killed, the Wind Ranger TP'd in and he got doomed and died. But that's pretty standard. When you pick Phantom Lancer, it's like, alright, at some point I'm probably gonna die. My hero just doesn't sustain the lane very well as levels progress. So it is what it is. It is what it is. He greeds out, he goes Wraithband, Raindrops, Treads, right? He's really just trying to hit his timing. I'm pretty surprised that he didn't go a Magic Wand against Doom. I just thought that would be a good idea, just to help him sustain the lane. There's also some tech around going Vanguard on PL, which isn't bad in some games, but it's certainly horrible this game as Vanguard no longer disassembles into anything that PL really wants. There's no Hood of Defiance. and it's really awful against the enemy heroes, so that's certainly a bad idea for a game like this. But yeah, now at this point, it's kind of just defensive farming, and this is what PL couldn't do in the past. And it's really funny, like changes like this, it's why map changes are so cool, because typically when you see hero changes, it's very linear. It's only going to benefit the heroes that really got the massive changes. But when it comes to map changes, as I said, PL, yes, he can hit from further away. Yes, it's a nice change, but at the end of the day, really what enables this hero is that right here in the old patch, you know where he is. You know where he is. He's in the jungle to the south. However, now he has the option to go north, and so you have to take a 50-50. Your wards are less likely to hit him, your movements are less likely to hit him, and that is going to allow him to reach his timings. It's as simple as that, but it's really damn important. One thing I'd also like to mention as well is some carries benefit from camps being close together. What I mean by that is the camp setup, so I want to quickly explain this. What the camp setup is, let's say I come up to here. This camp and this camp are not close enough together for most AoE abilities to hit them at the same time. Something like Acid Spray kind of can do it, and so it's not fully true what I'm saying, but like Rot from Pudge can't. And so Rot from Pudge heavily benefited from, let's say, the Dire jungle. For instance, actually, it's very hard to drag camps together, but for instance, these two, you can generally drag them together. They get pulled out pretty far. And so you can farm these camps at the same time because you can drag them out together. And that benefits certain heroes like Clinks with Burning Barrage. Okay, not anymore. I love how I give the example that got changed. You get the point, right? Pudge, old Clinks. However, these camps don't benefit heroes like Medusa and Clinks because they're all too far separated. These do, I will admit, right? This camp and this camp, very, very good for Medusa, for old Clinks, for Pudge, but for the most part, not really the case. And so Peel doesn't care, right? Because he has no ability that allows him to farm two camps at the same time. So this being the general case where you can't drag camps together, actually is a net positive for PL as it slows down other heroes that he's trying to compete against. So one thing I want to talk about is actual farming rotations that I thought are pretty cool to enabling PL to get way more farm. So the best rotation in the game that I've seen up to date, outside of just kind of pushing in the lane, like the standard push in the lane, farm backwards, take triangle, and then now you can also take triangle and then take the other ancients. And PL is very good at taking ancients, depending on the camp, but he's very good at taking most ancient camps. And so that's pretty damn efficient. Also though, especially early on into the game, or as early as possible, what you can do is you can push out a lane as far as you can, which is always good, right? Because it's going to force out rotation, it's going to limit enemy vision, it's going to limit the comfort of the enemy in pushing out into a certain area. And so what you'll see is he's going to push this out, he's going to take the nearby neutral camps, so he doesn't go super deep, right? He opts to not take the camp on the left. This one in the river here, it's just a little bit too close to DP, so I respect that. He's going to take the camp to the east of that, then he's going to farm all the way to the right, each camp on the way there. Then he's actually going to, interestingly enough, take the portal, sort of because his team is top. Obviously, he has a ward in this area here, and his team is in the area, so of course, this is not something you always can do. If your team has bottom map control, you should be farming then to this camp, then to this camp, then to ancients, then to other ancients, and then rinse repeat. Right? Of course, you have to be able to adjust, but this is still good for PL because there's more creeps, there's more options. It's easier to farm safe in this current meta, at least from my experience, and it definitely seems to be the case. And so yeah, he's going to be able to farm backwards here, and this is pretty cool because he can connect with his team, take every camp on the defensive route, and just overall continue farming as he even ends up getting a nice set of lane creeps here. Now, even though this fight likely would have went well no matter what items he had, I'd still like to cover his item timing at this point of the game. Vambrace is obviously great because it gives you a lot of agi. That's nothing crazy. At level 10, you always take the 2.5 second Phantom Rush bonus agi cooldown. That's a non-negotiable on this hero. But the main noticeable difference is he went Sanch and Yasha instead of going Manta style. And the reason why is if the enemy picks a hero like Pudge, or they have heroes like Lesh, it's not that useful to buy Manta in teamfights. It's still good for farming, and so he could have justified it for that reason. Like, even in Manta in games where it's not a great PL game, or a less good PL game, is still good because it helps you push out creep waves if they're not there. Or if you're not sure if they're there, is a better way to put it. But in team fights, this is definitely the way to go. But yeah, in this team fight here, he gets gone on by Pudge, but he's generally okay. Gets chain stun a little bit, but the status resist in this patch is very hard to play against, right? It's just because stuns are already bad, and so yes, technically stuns being worse doesn't fully benefit status resist as it's a percentage, but at the end of the day, it still means you're barely getting stun. Right, and that's what happens in this team fight. Dyrachyo just can't kill him, the pipe, the mech, the hand of God comes out, and this is partially why Chen is a stupid hero, And Team Comsec and Stack Auras are just not very fun to play against. I mean, Chen in particular, I think, is an absolutely busted hero right now. It's just too easy to get these aura items, and that's what happens. Like, literally, the off-lane Nyx Assassin has less gold than Chen, but Chen carried the team fight, and he's very good against these sustained damage, ship damage, the Dooms, the Pudges, you know what I mean? He's just too good against these heroes. This pipe build is insanely good this game on Chen. Now, I will say, I think Phantom Lancer has a major glaring issue in this patch, and that is this hero is really bad against Crimson Guard, and it's pretty bad against Greaves. You'll kind of see an example of this in this clip. I mean, the nice thing about PL against Crimson and Greaves is that usually at some point in the game you can get to the point where you can sort of kite out the active of Crimson. It actually just got reduced as well in this patch from 12 to 8 seconds, so that's something to keep in mind. Technically you can kite it easier, but you'll notice against killing Ace here, it's like really hard. Like PL is really bad against Crimson. I can't stress this enough. And so if you're against Phantom Lancer and you're playing a hero that purchases Vanguard or has the option to, then definitely consider picking up Crimson, and Greaves is certainly a good option as well. As, yeah, unfortunately Ace goes down there, but it's so damn hard for PL to kill anyone through these auras. Yeah, and at this point of the game, he's kind of hit his Exodia timing. The heart is really the key timing with Sanjin Yasha, as the Sanjin Yasha amps up the heart regen, and you have way too much HP. On top of that, something weird is he actually took Spirit Lance cooldown. Not exactly what I expected. I thought because he was having a pretty good game, he would take 15 strength and try to snowball off of it. But no, he actually took the Spirit Lance cooldown, which is something to note. It's definitely good for farming. It's a very high damage spell. I'm just, once again, surprised. It seems like a game where against Pudge and Doom and Puck, if you hit a certain HP threshold, you can't die. But maybe he thinks he doesn't even need the 15 strength talent to hit that threshold. I have a feeling that's his idea. He ends up getting cheese, and now Mage Slayer is so good this game. I mean, this Mage Slayer pickup into the eventual Bloodthorn pickup makes so much sense. I mean, the magic damage is overwhelming from the side of Gaming Gladiators. There's literally no physical to kill him, and so this purchase just makes too much damn sense. In other games, obviously, you can go things like Scotty, you can go things like Butterfly if the game calls for it, you can even go Abyssal Blade. It really just all depends. But yeah, that's going to be all for today's video on Phantom Lancer. I know there's nothing too much specific to the hero, but that's kind of the point. I really feel like, yes, it's one of the best heroes in the game. Did it change much? No, it really didn't. It's just super favored by the current meta, and what I mean by that in particular is the map setup. Hopefully I've demonstrated that here today through today's video. Hopefully you can go win a lot of MMR as Phantom Lancer, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!
And that's all, but remember, before you leave, before you tune out, subscribe to the Game Leap website where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below, and I'm out. Peace.